Hello everyone and welcome to this video on this course of getting started with Angular. In this part of the video we will be building out the e-commerce application which I showed to you guys in the previous video. We will try to replicate that application and basically have a basic level e-commerce functionality implemented. This course project will not be confined to 1 or 2 videos. It will be an ongoing project. So as we learn new things such as routers, forms, we will implement those concepts into this application. So in the previous videos, we learned about creating directives. We reuse directives, and we learned about creating components using the Angular CLI and then reusing those components. All of those things which we learned in the previous videos, we will be implementing them to create an application which can provide value. So yeah, as we learn these new concepts, I personally believe that it would be great if we could use these concepts to build something out. So yeah, everything that we have learned so far in the previous videos is what we will be implementing in this course project of ours. So first things first, we need to create a project. I have my terminal open. Let me just zoom into it. What I'll do is I'll create a new project. I'll do ng new and we can call it e-commerce hyphen application. I'll just wait for it to create. It is asking, would we like to add Angular routing? Yes. Whether we would like to go with CSS or SCSS, so you'll go with SCSS. And it's installing npm. So now that the packages have been installed successfully, we go into VS Code. Just zoom into this a bit, and we will go to file. We have to open. We go to desktop. We will try to find e-commerce application, which is this one. It's the project we just created. Plus the authors. We will open the terminal inside of VS Code. So the terminal is open. Just this a little bit, and yeah. So the first thing I do is I will have to start my application. Just make sure that everything's working. I do ng serve and just wait for it to start. Now that the application has started, you just look at it and make sure everything's working fine. So yeah, I have e-commerce application is running, which means we have successfully created our project and we have also run it. So everything's working good. The first thing I would like to do is I'd like to go into my app.component.html and remove all of this extra text that I have over here, which is not needed. Routed, all of that, something we will not be looking into right now. And I will just leave it like this, like it is. So the e-commerce application that we will be building out will contain a bunch of different pages, different routes, all of which we will not be looking into in this particular set of the course project videos, because in these couple of videos which I'll be creating, we will only be looking at the concepts which we have learned. So right now our e-commerce application will consist of 3 components. One is the main app component, and the other two are one is a header, the header on the top, which we will use to access any particular page if you want to, and the second one will be a product component. So, and inside of that product component we will have a product list element where all of the list of the products will be displayed, and next to that product list will be a product details element. Obviously I'll show it to you guys in a minute. So first thing which I would like to do is I would like to create my header component. So I will go to source. I'll go inside of app and I will do ng new, creating a new component, and I will call it header. Okay, sorry, not ng new, it's ng generate component. Do header, and it has created a component for me by the name of header over here. So that's the first thing. And I will also create a component by the name of products. Products would be okay. Yeah, for now let's just name it products. So we have created two components. One is a header component and the other one is a products component. Now with that out of the way, I would like to create my header, which is the very first thing which I want to create. Now inside of my header, I have this basic level text header works. And if I look at the selector for the header, it's app-header. I will go inside of my app.component.html and reuse this header component like this. I click on save, and if I go back to my application over here, I see header works, which means the header component has been successfully loaded into the app.component.html. Now I could build out the header part myself manually, but to save time and in real world as well, we don't normally try to reinvent or recreate the wheel. This is where Bootstrap will come in. So what I'll do is I will install Bootstrap. This will install Bootstrap for me, and if I go into my package.json, I will do Bootstrap. So the Bootstrap version which has been installed is 5.2.3. And if I go into my angular.json, this is the second step. We need to go into the styles key over here, and we have to add the address for our Bootstrap, where Bootstrap is located. So if you go into node modules, we scroll down and we should see Bootstrap over here somewhere. Let's see, it's yeah, there's Bootstrap over here, dist css. So yeah, we need to give it the address of this particular file, but for the sake of time saving, I have it stored in another file over here, which is node_module bootstrap dist css bootstrap.main.css. I'll just copy this. We'll not be needing this anymore. I go over here and I paste this in. So basically what I'm telling Angular is that if you want to access Bootstrap for the styles, you have to look into this particular directory, which is node modules, the Bootstrap folder, dist css bootstrap.main.css. So yeah, this should successfully add Bootstrap in. Now with Bootstrap added in, inside of my header component, what I would like to do is I would like to add a nav bar. And Bootstrap has a bunch of support for nav bars. So what I'll do is I'll do Bootstrap nav bars, open this up, and we are not looking for Bootstrap 4, we are looking for Bootstrap 5 and 5.2 in particular, because our version is 5.2.3. Make sure the versions are correct, otherwise there's a chance that it will fail. And if I look at the, yeah, I need to go on the left over here and I need to go for navbar. Just click on navbar over here and pick any navbar of your choice. I'll try to pick a simple one. Yeah, so this one looks pretty simple. I will copy this entire HTML, go back to my header.component.html, paste it in. So there are some things which I don't need. First of all, this disabled element over here. So yeah, I will remove this active for now, and let me just expand the screen a bit so I can see clearly. So yeah, anything else that we will not need, first of all, I don't need this A over here, and I see a button over here for some reason. Let's just remove this as well, this entire button. So we get nav item, nav link, nav item, nav link, and we have 3: home, features, pricing. We have 3 items over here, and I would like to change this to products. We will need an admin page and we will need the cart page as well. I click on save, I go back to my application. So for some reason Bootstrap hasn't been loaded. Let's try to rerun the application. If that solves the problem, I'll do ngserve again and wait for it to recompile. Okay, Yep. So even though I did Bootstrap in, the reason it didn't work is that whenever you add a new Angular package in and you make changes to the angular.json or package.json file, you have to recompile your application to make sure that those new changes come into effect, they take place. So this is our header over here. It has a very light background color. What I will do is I'll remove this background dash light and let's just give it a color. Style is equal to background dash color, and we will say wheat. This color can be anything of your choice. At least it's now much more apparent. Now with the header out of the way, the next step would be to create to focus on the product.component.html, focusing on the products component. If I go into my products.component.html, the way this will work is I'll divide this component into two sections. One is the product list and the other one is the product details. The product list will just display the list of the products, and the details is obviously if I click on one of the products in the list, the details for that product should appear in on the right side. So how I will go about doing this is that I will have one main div and I will call this main div. I'll give it a class of main div, and inside of the main div I will have two divs, the product list and the product details. I will do div dot product hyphen list and div dot product hyphen details. Now with that out of the way, we need to create these classes over here. I'll go to my SCSS file and the main div will be a flexbox. So I'll give it a class of style of display flex, and the flex dash direction has to be a row, and the product list will be sorry, we have to put a dot over here. It will have a width of 30%, height 100 VH. So basically I wanted to cover the entire screen, and yeah, I think this is pretty. Oh yeah, for now I will be adding a border as well. This is just temporary. We will be removing this border, but I want to add this border to give you guys an idea of what you guys will be seeing. And dot product hyphen details like this, width 70%, height 100 vertical height, and border 1px solid black, temporary. If I go back, okay, so I should be seeing this. I think I may have done something wrong. Let's see, product hyphen list, product hyphen details, hyphen list with 30% border. Okay, I am not seeing this because I have not used this selector, because basically if I have created this component, how am I going to be seeing this if I'm not using this component inside of my app.component.html, which is the main thing. These are small things which people miss out on and they think something is broken, but no, it's the basics which get to people. If the basics are something that you miss out on, you run into errors. Most of the errors I have run into are always something that are related to the basics. It's never complicated. Okay, I will do app hyphen products, oops, not products, products. I'll save it. I'll go to products of component.ts, and yeah, now app hyphen products has been added in. So I can see the first border. Obviously I can't see the second border. Oh, I can see the second border as well, but it is not acting like a flex box. So we will look into why it's not acting like that. So I will look into the main div and for some reason the Flexbox properties are not even present. So let me see why that is. Oh, spelling mistake. Main div, main div, not main div. So yes, now we have our header. We have the product list div over here and the product detail div on the right. I would like to give it a bit of padding, just so it doesn't like completely take over the screen. Now I will do that is I'll go to my main div and I'll give it a padding on all four sides of 40px. If I go back again, looking better. And now what I'll do is I'll go to my products.component.html. Let me just add an h1 tag saying this is product list, and this is where the product details will go. Product details. Oh, I have to add it in the h1 tag. Copy this in, paste this in. Product list, product details, those sections have been defined. So this is a very basic layout of our e-commerce application. We have the product section over here on the header. We click on it, this particular page will open up. This is the product details products component. The products component itself will have two divs. One is the product list and the other one is the product details. Yeah, so this is good to go. Before I think it would be better if I could show you guys how to create the product model, but I think that is something to do in the next video. But yeah, in the next video we'll be looking into creating our product model, and we'll be using some of the directives which we went over in the previous videos to create a list of products and also to create and also display the details of those products. Till we meet again in the next video, this is Mohit Lodhi signing off.